you reached Dr. Gretchen Torbert. We're going to eventually call it the Dr. GT Show. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to talk to you and to share with you some positive things on today. We're going to be coming from 1 Samuel 16 and 14. I'll give you an opportunity to turn there. 1 Samuel 16 and 14. And the title of today's message is, You Have What It Takes. You have what it takes to be victorious, to be magnificent, glorious, awesome, fanatically great, to be all that you're destined to be. You have what it takes. This week I heard an interesting story from my AP. He's a deep sea diver. His name is Dr. Jason Moffitt. He's a deep sea diver. And he had to do a certification test where he jumps into a lake, and he jumped into the lake, and he was with another person as well, and he thought that he reached 100 feet on the platform of the lake, down 100 feet, but actually he extended all the way down to 140 feet, and you know, once you go that low, there's a lack of oxygen, and so he was having problems breathing, and then it's pitch dark at the very bottom of the lake. He was at the very bottom of the lake, and it was like a leap of faith for him. So he jumped to the very bottom of the lake and didn't even know it. He was at the very bottom, and he was by himself, and he said it was pitch dark, and as a result, he was losing oxygen, could not see, and he was freezing cold, because you know, the farther you go down, the colder it is. And he said he had to rely on what he knew in his mind. He had to rely on his mental capacity in order to save him. And so he had to make a choice. Either he chose to die in the midst of this traumatic situation, or he made a choice to believe that he would be okay. And mind you, it's cold, it's dark, and he's gone farther than he should have gone. And he said that he began to move his arms around, and as he moved his arms around, he hit something like a wall, a pole, and along the pole was a rope, and he used the rope to help himself climb out. And he said as he was climbing out, he was very thankful and grateful that God had allowed that particular pole to be within feet of him, to be able to touch it, to use it to climb out the situation that he was in. Today, God is telling you that He's your lifeline. He has strategically planted you where you are and has provided you what you need to save you. Because you have taken a leap of faith, or you plan to take a leap of faith, know that God has put the right mechanisms and things in place to ensure of your safety. And he said he started to feel better. Now when he went from believing in his mind that he would be okay, because he had to make a choice. Either I'm going to be at the bottom of the lake and die, or I'm going to choose in my mind to believe I'm going to be okay. He had to make a choice in his mind that he was going to be okay. And then he had to believe that it would happen, and that's when he was able to touch the pole and know that he was going to be safe. Once he touched the pole, he used the rope to have him climb out the situation. And he said that in his heart, he started to feel better. Now we're going on feelings. He started to feel better once the colors of the water started to change. It went from being extremely dark, purple, blackish color, to a light, darkish purple, blackish color, to a blue color, to a greenish color, to a white color. He said once he got up top, there was flashing lights everywhere to assist. But his story was so great because he took a leap of faith doing something that he enjoyed doing, not knowing that he was going to reach the bottom of the lake, 140 feet, and then to be down there pitch dark where you can't even see a hand before you with lack of oxygen, knowing you're about to die and it's cold, and then God provides for you, reaching his hand out, just releasing himself and giving full control to God, and he provides something for him to save him, and he was saved. We're going to come from 1 Samuel chapter 16 verses 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and a distressing spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servants said to him, surely a dispersing spirit from God is troubling you. Let our master now command your servants who are before you to seek out a man who can skillfully play on the harp. This is quite interesting. A distressing spirit from the Lord was troubling Saul. It was from the Lord now. From the Lord, troubling Saul. And the servants of Saul said, let us search out someone who can play skillfully to soothe your distressing spirit and to calm you and bring you peace. To seek out a man who can skillfully play on the harp. And it shall be that he will play it with his hand when the distressing spirit from God is upon you, and you shall be well. So Saul said to his servants, provide me now a man who can play well, and bring him to me. Then one of the servants answered and said, look, I have seen the son of Jesse of Bethlehemite, who is skillful in playing, a mighty man of valor, a man of war, prudent in speech, and a handsome person, and the Lord is with him. Therefore Saul sent out messengers to Jesse and said, send me your son David, who is with the sheep. And Jesse took a donkey loaded up with bread, a skin of wine, a young goat, and sent them by the son of David to Saul. So David came to Saul and stood before him. And he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. Then Saul sent to Jesse, saying, please let David stand before me, for he has found favor in my sight. And so it was, whenever the Spirit of God from God was upon Saul, and David would take his harp and play it in his hand, and Saul would become refreshed and well, and the distressing spirit would depart from him. I wanted to read this group of scriptures to let you know. Sometimes you're in an environment, it could be work, home, it could be out in the community, anywhere, and you're in a critical, harsh environment, and you get to wondering, why you? Why I'm in this place? Why I'm in this position? Why am I having to deal with such a distressing time? Could it possibly be that God is using you? He purposely is using you to bring about peace in the midst of a storm. That's where I feel I am now. God is using me. He's using me in my workplace. He's using me at home. He's using me in a community. And I'm not saying those are distressing periods all the time, but things come up. And He's using the God that's within me to bring about peace in the midst of a storm. He's doing the same thing for you. People may say to you, oh, you have such a sweet heart, a sweet spirit. Oh, there's something so unique and divine about you. Guess what? There is. God is using you. There's purpose and plan for your life to be used. He puts you into distressing situations, hard situations, so that the favor of God can rest upon your life and your light can shine. Don't dim your light for anyone. Let your light shine. If you're different, be different. If you're unique, be unique. If you're divine, be divine. Be who God created you to be, because He's using you for a particular season, for a purpose, and for a reason. You're in your situation on purpose. God is using you on purpose. Saul had a distressing spirit on his life that was put on him by God. God used Saul just to bless David. Saul didn't know what to do about the distressing spirit, so he went to his servants. His servants said, find someone who can play skillfully and bring pleasure into your life. So guess what? They seek out David. It's David, the shepherd boy, out tending the sheep. David, to go play for a king? Isn't that interesting? Who God picks and uses and put favor in your life. And then look at what they say about David. David, a mighty man of valor. I'm not a man, but great mighty woman of success, a mighty woman that fears the Lord. You, a mighty man or woman of God, a man of war, prudent in speech, a handsome person. They spoke about his character, his internal and external features. That's the favor of God on your life. It doesn't matter what your job description is. You could be the janitor, you can be the teacher, the car washer, the cashier, the banker. When favor is upon your life, he'll put you before kings and queens and let your light shine. And people wonder, you don't make but $10 or $20, maybe 30 or 40 an hour. You might even make minimum wage, but there's favor on your life to be successful. And God is using you. Never count anybody out, no matter what they do. Don't judge a man, don't condemn him, never count anyone out because of what they do. God uses whomever he wants. He is a shepherd boy to please and to ease and soothe the king. Can you imagine? He's playing his harp so skillfully. And whenever he played it, peace will come upon Saul. So God set the whole thing up. Awesome. Saul sent his messengers to go get Jesse. Send me your son David, who is with the sheep. That just tickles me. I'm the king. Send me the one that's out there with the sheep. You'll be surprised who God is going to use now. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. David had no idea at the time. He foreknew that he would be king. He had no idea at the time he was being set up by the king. God will set you up. He'll put you in a hard situation to see if you'll be obedient. Because when he sent for him, he could have said no. I ain't gonna do that. He went anyway. And guess what? Saul wanted to kill him because he saw the favor on his life. Saul did not like the favor that was resting upon David's life and wanted to kill him. Look at God. Fear no man, only fear God. God is with you, and he's going to do some great and wonderful things in your life. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to use your gifts and your talents and your abilities to be a blessing, not only to yourself, but to others. To kings and queens, he's going to put you in the right place at the right time to be a blessing. Watch how God does this. And whenever David would play, Saul would become refreshed and well, and the distressing spirit would depart from him. Whenever David would play, Saul would become refreshed and well, and the departing of the spirit would leave from him. Isn't that something? Even though that's one situation, you can almost put it in any situation. If you see your house is in disarray, your life is in disarray, turn on some worship music. Start worshiping God. Open the windows, open the doors, get your oil, and watch how that distressing spirit leave from you. Don't mind my stuff this evening. That's all of my work from my doctoral study. This has been Gretchen Tober, and I hope you enjoyed the word from the Lord. 1 Samuel 16.